Hey everyone, it's Pearlescent Toys, back in today's video with another Star Wars The Black Series action figure review, and today we're looking at the Walmart exclusive Mandalorian Night Owl from Star Wars The Mandalorian. This is the most anticipated figure of this year. I keep hearing buzz about it everywhere I go. Everyone's like, when is it going to come out? When is it shipping? I want to get my hands on it. I'm kidding. Nobody wanted this. But here's a look at the side art, and I'll get into why people don't want it in a second. Here's the back of the box. A group of mostly female Mandalorian warriors, spearheaded by Bo-Katan Kryze, the Night Owls, joined forces with the Children of the Watch to reclaim Mandalore. It's another blue Mandalorian. People didn't want to get another blue Mandalorian. You know what? Let's open this up. Let's see if it was worth making this figure for Hasbro. Yeah. Without further ado, let's get into the review. And here we have the Mandalorian Night Owl out of the packaging. I could say a whole lot about another blue Mandalorian. The fatigue is really setting in within the Black Series community. I've been very vocal about how I feel in the past about it. But let's put all that negativity off to the side for now. Let's instead focus on the action figure itself. Let's just pretend like there's no other Mandalorian figures. This was the only one. That's kind of like my mindset for every review that involves like reuse or something. Anyways, here is a look at those shoes. And again, the leather texturing looks phenomenal. This is what Black Series does the best, where they kind of fall short with articulation. Sometimes they do get the sculpt work down. They get it wonderful. And you can see that with the front of the boots. The metallic blue that they use looks just absolutely stunning in this light, and the dark gunmetal silver looks just as good as well in the boots. This is entirely reused from the Koska Reeves figure, which I'm not complaining about though, because it's one of my favorite molds from Star Wars The Black Series. Gunmetal gray for those knee pads as well, but for these side thigh pieces right here, these armor, it's a really bright silver, and I like that it's a different color than the rest of this. And the pants too, with the wrinkles all throughout it, that looks great. The line work, the holster for her gun is a nice chestnut brown. It looks fantastic. The leather again looks great. Moving up to the chest, and mine has a bit of paint chips on the side of the armor right there, on this side too. Again, I just have to point towards this metallic blue. I think it looks phenomenal. You get the shoulder pads with the Night Owl insignia on it, very clean. I believe this is the third figure that has that exact insignia, right behind Bo-Katan Kryze and Koska Reeves. Down here, more sculpt work for the arms and some patching right there on this elbow as well. Now the gauntlets are just filled with detail. This one is a dark gunmetal gray, and then this one is a bright silver, really reflective. Love the paint that they used, and it has that rocket and a keypad with some whistling birds. But yeah, I just love how the gauntlets are different colors. I love the asymmetry. And then we move up to the helmet, and the helmet is not removable, although underneath you could see the Bo-Katan Kryze head under there. That's weird. Oh man, I just think the helmet looks just as great as the rest of the armor. I love the paint outlining the lenses on the front of the helmet and that logo up there. And something I forgot to go over was the paint chips. There's like silver battle damage all throughout the paint on the figure, and it looks lovely. I think it makes the figure more realistic, especially on this arm. Ooh, that was one nasty shot she took. Yeah, I just love the paint. Oh my God, the silver looks so good, especially back here. Wow, just incredible. All right, that's where I draw the line when it comes to pandering for this figure, because the accessories bit, it's indefensible. Like, it comes with one blaster. Looks great. Love the paint. Her jetpack looks great. Again, I love the paint work on it. That's it. You get nothing else. No effects, no swappable hands, maybe removable helmet, nada. You get absolutely zilch. And I think that's a bit of a bummer, but I'll save that till the end of the video. The jetpack is, of course, removable, and you can just plug it in back into that peg hole right there. And the blaster is able to go into her holster on the side. Now going over articulation, the head is able to move up this much, look down that much. She has a really good amount of pivot and some side to side movement. Her arm is able to move up this much, go back not really at all, go forward a tiny bit. She has shoulder rotation, elbow joint that's able to bend in this much, that also has some swivel, and your standard wrist hinge allowing her hand to move up, down, all the way around. With her mid diaphragm joint, she's able to bend back this much, bend forward a tiny bit. She has a tiny bit of pivot and some side to side movement. Her leg is able to kick up this much, go out to the side that much, and go back a pretty good amount. She has upper thigh swivel, a single jointed knee that's able to bend back this much, and that also has a swivel in it. And her foot is able to move this far down, this far up, and she has and now on to the size comparisons. Here is the Mandalorian Night Owl next to Bo-Katan Kryze and the Mandalorian Din Djarin, Koska Reeves and Axe Woves, Fleet Commander and Mandalorian Loyalist, Deadpool and Hydra Bob, Darwin and Morbius, Commander Gary and CT-4279, Grogu and Sad Freakin' Rollins, and finally Jeff the Landshark and Spider Ham. Alright, time for my final rating and my overall thoughts. I think I'm going to give the Mandalorian Night Owl here an 8 out of 10. A very, very strong 8 out of 10. I still adore this body. I think it looks fantastic, and it kind of still holds up after all these years, but of course there is a whole ton of room for improvement, not just for her, but for a lot of the Mandalorian figures they've been putting out lately. Look, I understand it is accurate to the character itself, but man, blue fatigue, it's just hitting hard. And of course the accessories, come on, there really is no incentive for buying all these different painted Mandalorians, Hasbro. You know, you just include something different. Jetpack effects, like some smoke or fire coming out the bottom of it. Different blasters. It just really lacks creativity. It honestly does. It's quite upsetting as a Black Series collector. It's really turned me off this last year, just how little effort they've been putting into this line. However, though, it is a very decent figure nonetheless. I think removing all of these outside opinions, the figure itself is fine. I think it is great. I think it poses really good, and it just looks really nice. Just wish there was a bit more variety to it, and that is why I'm having her at an 8 out of 10. But that'll do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know how you would rate this figure down in the comment section below. And please remember to like, and if you aren't already, please subscribe and share with a friend. That would mean the world to me. And with that, I will see you in the next one. This is the way. Let's just put that aside and focus on the action figure itself. Let's see if it is a very good action figure. If it warranted being, you could see that with the front of the boots, the metallic blue, sure. Silver bit in the middle looks cool. That silver bit in the middle, yeah, the silver looks great. For accessories, you aren't. She has a shoulder, the Fleet Commander, and a Mandalorian Loyalist.